Hey, everybody. So I don't know if anyone who is really following caught on, but we had to change the time back because we still haven't ate dinner because
we depended on the men
to make the dinner, which is mistake numero one. You don't depend on men when it's called a dinner preparation time. So be kind in that we have no food in us and we are drinking alcoholic beverages.
It could make this talk more interesting.
It would make this talk a lot more interesting. So as we're waiting for people to kind of hop on, I'm glad that my dad's joined us.
Hi, Mr. Morgan.
Hey, Nathan. Hey, Nathan, we're going to be talking about potty stuff. We're going to give a background first on how we know each other, because you're my first guest, my first warm body next to me that I'm not just talking at the camera.
I know. Like a celebrity.
Pretty much. It's Savannah and Hoda Kopi.
So when this really takes off, I get to say that I was your first guest.
You get to say you were my first guest.
Be like the next Jimmy Fallon.
Let's cheers to that. Cheers to many first to come.
We need a mug.
Yeah, I know. Eventually,
that has your logo on it.
Maybe when I have 2 pennies to rub together, I'll buy my fancy mug. So I was trying to think, what's the first time we hung out? I couldn't think of my first memory of meeting you. I've known you for a while, but I can't think of my first time meeting you.
I think we were kind of merged together because who you friends with first? Because I got in with Ray, who then introduced me to Laura, and we played basketball.
Which I definitely did not play basketball. I was not very athletic.
No.
By not very, I mean 0. I'm just trying to be nice to myself.
So I think
our friendships just kind of merged from people we knew.
I think was Laura the merger?
Probably, because she's a connector person.
Yeah.
And with Lisa, she is beautiful, obviously, but she's one of the kindest, most down-to-earth people, which is why she's so great for this, because you're going to get a very real collection of how ridiculous potty training can be.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's been the biggest struggle.
So how old are your kids?
So Owen is 3.5, and Gia just turned 20 months.
That's crazy. I know, especially with number 2, you're not keeping track of months anymore. She'll be a
little over a year and a half. So we actually just went to our pediatrician appointment, which was technically the 1.5 year visit.
Okay.
And she brought up to me potty training. I'm like,
has anyone been there where somebody asks you prematurely, or when are you going to start potty training?
No, I don't. I just finished.
And you think, am I behind the game? Should I have been potty training already? Why isn't my kid potty training? I had that with Autumn, my grandma, which if anyone has family members who, I think your memory gets fogged once you hit a certain generational age of trying to remember realistically of when times happened. And my grandma said, are you going to start potty training Autumn? And she was 1.5 years. And I said, I don't think so. And she goes, she's talking. And I go, well, yeah, but I don't think she's ready. She hasn't shown the signs she's ready. She goes, your father was potty trained at 9 months.
No way, we have the same story.
Really?
We have the same story.
Wait, how?
Patrick's grandmother told us that she had his father potty trained at 9 months.
That's impossible.
That is a baby.
A baby.
That is
so. Are you standing over the toilet all day long just waiting for things to drop out of your children like Baby Alive? Because you don't. That's not potty training to wait for your baby to do this phase.
No.
And then place them over the toilet.
No, and they're going to tell you when they have to go. They have that much awareness.
No, 0.
I'm
glad I'm not alone.
No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
And that'll be like our main discussion is how, especially with social media and everyone's telling their story about their magical children who get potty trained.
Oh,
in
yeah.
12 hours.
And that's another thing too is, and I think I touched on this when I was discussing anything with milestones with children, is the sooner, especially if you're a first-time mom, I think this comes as you have more kids and you realize all kids are different and you start to have more confidence as a parent. But the sooner you can own that my kid's fine, when all kids turn 5, you kind of turn your head to milestones, because all kids learn to open and close their hands, roll over, laugh.
Absolutely.
And to stop comparing yourself to other parents. It's such a burden off of you. And it relieves you of that worry when you're in a big group and you're trying to talk with people and you're like, well, why my kid isn't potty trained, or my kid isn't rolled over yet. What's wrong with me? It kind of helps, give yourself a break that you're doing fine. And when your kid's ready, they really will let you know.
It's the equivalent of, standing up your kid and, pushing them over and hope that they walk. It's the same thing. Some kids are ready at 9 months, and some kids wait until they're 16 months. They'll do it when they're ready.
They'll do it when they're ready. So with Owen, this is interesting for me because I have a little girl, and I'm sure there's 2 very different methodologies, because there's different working parts with boys and girls, as we know.
Oh, you'll hear how boys differ.
Yeah. So how did you talk about when you first got the potty and how you knew to start having the conversation with Owen?
Well, I had the potty from my shower, so I was planning.
So you already yeah, that's great.
That. But I actually didn't end up using that one.
And why?
Because I did in the beginning.
First, what kind of toilet was it?
I had the Baby Bjorn,
okay,
the little plastic one.
Was it like this?
Yeah, pretty similar.
Right,
so it stands alone.
Show everybody. So these separate things, and a lot of these, I promise I Lysoled this into
just shoving it in my face.
Is it empty? And with these, a lot of times they do their business in here, and then clip
and
it
that's
out.
Kind of gross.
Oh, I'll tell you how disgusting it can be. So this is what you originally
That's what I started with.
Okay.
So I read everything under the sun, and you'll laugh when you hear when I started to potty train Owen.
Why?
Because he was 10 months old.
Did you do it because of the grandma? You did it because of the grandma?
No. Well, that. And I heard multiple people tell me that their kids were potty trained by a year.
That's such a ball.
So
I'd like to meet these people.
I get that in my head, and I'm like, how cool would that be? I could stop buying diapers.
You would be on the Ellen show.
I could be famous.
You could be famous and save money.
So can I share these?
Yeah.
Because
hey, Lydia.
This is how I started. So you can look these up.
Oh, first, yeah, I was really excited. Laura, wait by a year. I know, it's ridiculous.
Yes, that's what I was told. So
it's so intimidating. So this is really funny. So Lisa, all new parents do this. You go to Google. Thank God for Google, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
And then to ask questions like, what should I do for guidance?
Wait, am I missing some of these?
Momnesia. Moms love to accidentally exaggerate how awesome their kids are with milestones. Lydia, that's it. Momnesia. That's the most brilliant way I've ever heard that said. It's you see things through rose-colored glasses, you forget. Elizabeth says Aiden was potty trained at 13 months. You're a superhuman. Brennan took a little longer because of the delays. I'm embarrassed now to kind of claim my real stories. But so,
well,
Lisa went to Instagram and kind of got.
I love my other papers.
And you did this with Owen, right? To kind of get ideas.
Oh yeah. So this is where I started. So you could do this today. Just go on Pinterest and just type in potty training your toddler, and all of these will come up that say how to train your toddler in 24 hours. The perfect way to train your toddler without using pull-ups, without using special underwear.
You just put tarp all over your house.
Yes.
And do the Hunger Games symbol and peace out.
And I mean, there's so many. They're like, this will absolutely work for you. If you read this book, if you follow these instructions, this will take you 3 days. Just lock yourself in your house for 3 days and just have your kid run around naked. Let me tell you, I did
And you did all of these, right?
All.
So see, how did that methodology work out for you?
Just so much pee and poop all over my house.
Did they really like go to the bathroom everywhere?
Yes.
And you're cleaning it up then, and then you're frustrated and getting mad at your kid, but you're like, I'm trying to potty train him, but how can I get mad?
Like, no, I was
learning.
told this worked. I was told this worked, so it's gonna work.
Yeah.
So I would try those things, and then I would give up because I would go crazy, and then a couple months would go by, and I would try again with something else, someone else's method, and that wouldn't work.
So you went through this process of trying different methods.
You know how long that went on for? 2 years.
Right? Yeah, because you're pushing something on to your kid, and I feel like kids kind of know, like they don't buy into it because they're like, I'm not really feeling this, so I know we'll eventually, like, we'll be done with this.
And he totally wasn't interested. He wasn't interested at all. He didn't care.
Key.
No, he didn't care. He didn't care if he had wet pants. He didn't care if he watched us go to the bathroom. I read one where if you put a long t-shirt on and you just let them run around naked and you set a timer for every 20 minutes. So every 20 minutes for 3 days, I would put my kid in the potty and he'd freak out.
Of course, because you're like it's like anxiety waiting for the timer to go off because you're like shoving them on some hole.
Like, no, stay here.
Laura, one of our friends, she's reading a book called Oh Crap, She Sent Me. And I think Laura, I think you talked about this. One of the concepts is you're just going all of the time and you just have them go commando, like we're from some nature, retreat. I tried, and it's hard and it's exhausting and it's messy. And
so messy.
I'm curious with having a boy, who did the training? Because obviously boys can stand. So did you ever have, like, Patrick have that conversation with him?
Well, we tried all different things. And for the longest time, I had him sitting. And actually, when we did have our breakthrough was when I told him, hey.
So you started him sitting.
He was sitting, yeah.
Okay.
Because I had the fear of there just pee everywhere.
Yeah, for moms out there who have boys, did you train for standing or sitting? That will be interesting to hear. What did you do first? Hey, Mandy, thanks for watching.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be cleaner. So I went with the sitting.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, he can't have great aim. He's like, he's two, he's going to pee all over. So we did that first. But eventually, there's a lot more in between. But eventually, we said, you want to pee like daddy? He sure did. And they would pee together.
That's kind of really cute. It's like little son daddy bro time.
It's bonding, I guess.
Bonding bro time.
But yeah.
So did you I've seen, they're like mounted to the walls, like little standing. So Elizabeth started standing. So maybe that's why you were so early. Interesting. Yeah. So that's kind of good to know for moms. Anyone else do standing or sitting first with a boy? I'm curious. They're like urinals you can put on the wall.
I saw that. And I thought it was a joke at first.
Yeah, I'm wondering it'd be kind of a pain to clean, but.
Yeah, what do? Take it off the wall?
You'd have to. You'd have to. Otherwise it would just sit there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really
well, I just don't have any room to put a urinal.
With Autumn, so with girls, because you're going to be dealing with this with Gia, and I mean, it's the same concept because you're doing sitting, but Autumn was a really early talker, so I think people always thought she was older to begin with or very capable, but it was totally, like, really enjoyed her poop in the diaper, like, kind of looked forward to it. And before she turned a year, I bought a toilet thinking we'll do early introduction. Now, personally for me, even though I have teaching background, I'm not a read books or methods. I'm more like free flowing, kind of like these videos. Anybody knows me knows that I kind of have like a hippie heart. So I'm like, well, she'll learn as she goes or if she starts talking about it. So she would ask and we're okay, great. Yeah, let's pee. And she'd want to pee, but it was very intermittent. I didn't really do a timed thing ever. And now she's 2 and still kind of would sometimes want to pee, sometimes not. And when it became more of a habit, because I wanted to enroll her in preschool, And although they didn't make peeing a priority, it was kind of an incentive for me to be like, I really want to do this for the summer. I really want to push this on. And as we were practicing, I tried the no pants thing and bringing the toilet into our family room, because a big thing for her, she never wanted to miss things, especially when she had like her Daniel Tiger on. She can't miss an episode, even though it's on Netflix and I can pause it with my little my controller, but she didn't get that. So I brought it out there. And at this point, she's like very capable, like pulling up, you know, I'd wipe her, she'd be fine. Well, she knew that this is where sometimes with kids' personalities, it can like really drive you nuts. She knew what it, like if an accident sometimes happens, if you go, like if you miss a little bit or if you go in your pants. And so one day, like I had her toilet there. I asked her if she had to go. I'm like, do you have to pee? No, Mommy, no, I don't. Okay, good. All right, Autumn, I'm going to go upstairs really quick. I'll be right back. I'm just getting a diaper for Morgan. And I come back and it was like a full on like puppy piddle, like circle on our carpet, because we have an area rug because all our downstairs are hardwoods, and there's just like pee on the floor. And you want to lose it because you're training, but like, you know, they know better. And then she's cute and goes, I'm sorry, Mommy, it was an accident. And you're cleaning this up and you're infuriated and it's frustrating. And eventually what finally clicked, because she still wanted to poop in her pull-up, and I never pushed it, because from what small things of people that I've talked with, if you push pooping, they get like fears of the toilet. Right. Have you heard of that before? Did that ever happen with you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he got like freaked out and wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, anytime we try to really force, because we feel like we were making progress. Yeah. And it would go a couple of days, and then we'd be like, okay, well, we really need to keep this going. And then all of a sudden he wouldn't be interested in it anymore. And we'd be forcing and forcing and forcing. And then that was the point every time, that no matter what method we tried, that we would just give up. Because now we're making him hate it.
Well, yeah, and everything, he's melting. And you're like, well, this shouldn't be this terrible if you're having a meltdown.
Exactly.
So that's kind of a key, too. If your kid's melting about this, know that it's time to stop. Let's see what Kelly wrote. She used the 3-day potty training program with her 2 oldest, and it absolutely worked. They were completely potty trained in no more than 5 days. Wow. Are they the same gender, Kelly? I'm just curious. Neither child ever wore a pull-up and never had a diaper back in after we took the last one off. How about at bedtime, Kelly? I'm curious about that. Did they hold it at bedtime, or did you still put a night one on? That would be interesting to know. Oh, Elizabeth wants to know how old your kids are.
Oh, Owen's 3.5. He's potty trained. He's been potty trained for a while now. Just going back in time. Yeah. But Gia is 20 months now.
So when do you think you'll start with Gia?
I don't know. I'm so fearful now.
I know. Because you've had like a bad experience, right?
But she has gone in the potty multiple times, but she's shown interest on her own. And that's something that Owen never did.
Oh, okay. So do you think it's because she's seeing him?
I think it's because she's seeing him with everything. I think she just advanced so much quicker in those types of things because she watches him do that.
I've heard that with kids in daycare settings too. So I'm home with my girl. So Autumn, aside from when we'd have a play date or we'd go somewhere, there was never a setting where, you know, kids are constantly going to the bathroom because I'm home with her. And when she started preschool, I think that was a big push. And then secondly, too, part of, I think, potty training is knowing your kids' personalities. And Autumn is a very stubborn soul, but if you direct it in a really positive way, it can be awesome. So everyone knows, give me a like if you have been cursed with Hatchimals in your house. And you all know what, you don't know what Hatchimals are?
No, I only have 2.
You only, oh gosh, there's so many. We are on, they come in, I think, packs of 5, so we're on 15 now.
Who's interested for a day?
Yeah, and they're the size of your thumbnail. They just like explode everywhere. And with these she really wanted these Hatchimals, and thank goodness they're only like $12. And I was like, okay, Autumn. And this is not fancy, guys. I'm going to give you a little like tutorial on Amanda's awesome, you know, incentive chart. I printed out a picture of Hatchimals. I'll just draw some circles. wow, this is so bad. And I made squares, and I was like, I really want her potty trained, so I'm going to make 20. So I made all these squares, and then I like drew a picture of like a toilet. That's not a toilet. Okay.
That's not bad.
So so starting here, and any time if she went pee, she got 1 X, and if she pooed, she got 2. And we had like a really long, this thing snaked all the way up to like, oh, the lighting's so bad, to get to her like Hatchimals. And I printed out like a real picture. So anytime she was in the bathroom, or if she was wondering, Mom, can you just shut my playroom gate? I really just want to poop in my diaper. Okay, yeah, but if you poop on the potty, you'll get 2 X's, and you'll be that much closer to getting your Hatchimals. And I tell you what, that motivated that little monkey to wanting to poop on the darn potty. And after that, like of doing it that many times, it became habit to the point that, oh no, Autumn, you don't need to go in your diaper anymore. You go in the potty now. Even after she earned her like the things she wanted, we never turned back. And I know some people have used M&Ms. Autumn's not motivated by that kind of stuff. It's more like a tangible, like if she has a toy or something she wants, like she's wired. But some kids love the M&M thing, and that works for them.
Well, where we started, so it started out very basic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is going back to, maybe in our first year of training, where just he'd be motivated because he would sit there on the potty and I would entertain him long enough.
Yeah.
So you give a kid water and sit him on a potty and make him sit there long enough.
Watch a YouTube video, something,
Yeah, they're going to pee. So would
he cry to get off, or was he pretty?
It depends.
Okay.
He would do pretty good, and he would be happy with my happy dance. I mean, anytime he went, I busted out every cheerleading move I had. I did some twirls, high kicks, everything, and he would be thrilled with that. Yeah. And that would motivate him for a couple of days. And then he didn't care that I was going to celebrate.
Right.
So then, okay, let's find something else. Let's try your favorite food. Okay, well, that works for a couple of days until he doesn't care that I'm going to give him his favorite food.
Yeah.
So then I went to the dollar store. I got Matchbox cars. I got Paw Patrol toys. I put everything in a basket, and I put it next to the potty. Okay, that worked longer until I ran out of
until you ran out of the darn toys, didn't you? Yeah, the little tchotchke things.
Yeah. So that kept him entertained for a while, but it still wasn't enough.
He wasn't owning it. He was kind of doing it to
get his reward.
It.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So he's like, if I do this, but there was still so many accidents in between that it just, I just had to be like, is this worth it? Does he really want to do this? Is he really into this right now? But you know how toddlers are. They love something one day, and they'll watch the same movie 100 times, and then all of a sudden the next day they hate it, and it's the worst movie ever. So,
and they're melting and yelling at you, and it's like emotional whiplash as a parent because your toddler's assaulting you verbally. And
right.
You're like, I thought you loved this.
But you know what honestly worked the best that actually got us to that point was our very simple sticker charts.
Did anyone else use a sticker chart? I'm curious.
It was no fancy sticker chart. It was literally 2 pieces of paper on the bathroom door.
I remember seeing that at your house. Yeah,
poop and pee-pee.
That visual reminder, and to being able to physically do that. Sometimes it depends. You got to find what your kid likes and zero in on it.
You just got to keep them interested, which I think is the hardest part.
So Kelly, what she did is she lined the bed with layers of shower curtains and sheets, but honestly, the nighttime accidents were extremely few and far between. We would wake them up before we went to bed and take them to the bathroom, even if we heard them stir. Wow. So
I would be afraid of that.
Yeah. Did you have a monitor in your bedroom that you could hear them? Because that you would have to, if you heard them stirring or mumbling too much, you could pull them to the bathroom. Because we're still putting pull-ups in Autumn.
Oh, we do too.
Sometimes she'll wake up in the middle of the night and say, I have to pee, but a lot of times they're still saturated, so I know she's not ready to have them removed.
Right.
So that's good to know, Kelly. Melissa wrote, seems easier the second time around. With our first, we had to really work at it. Our second has starting doing it herself. So we started working with her, but I think it's far from watching her sister. So that's, you're going to be in this boat.
I sure hope so.
And eventually I will be with Morgan. How old is your second daughter, Melissa, out of curiosity? That'll be good to know too. Okay, Kelly had a monitor. It's part of the program. So Kelly's program, just to scroll up, if you don't remember, it was
3-day potty training.
Yeah, she was a 3-day potty training program. So I'm guessing was it a book, Kelly, that you buy? Maybe they have a podcast. We'd have to look into that, but that's really great to know. What we're going to do is share. So one thing too, because you're going to be in the bathroom all of the time with your little ones, if you're starting this or you've already been this, it'll be interesting. If you guys have a favorite potty book that your kid loved, please write it in the comments. That'll be great. We're going to share some of our favorite potty books. I'll have you go first because yours has like a sound thing and it's fun. Yeah. And who doesn't love a Daniel Tiger?
You gotta love Daniel Tiger.
All of my parenting, like literally advice comes from Daniel Tiger songs. If you guys are new parents, hop on the Daniel Tiger train. It's a spinoff of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And it's all about emotional intelligence with your children. And it's made a huge difference in not only my life, but I think like your kiddos loved it. It helps them self-monitor. And it's one of those things when you put it on, you don't mind your kid watching. Because you know they're getting a lesson out of it and they're becoming better people from it. So, okay, share your Daniel Tiger potty book.
You want me to read it?
Just maybe do some like page highlights.
Well, where this book has really helped actually wasn't so much during the early potty training phase.
Okay.
It helps us now, and we still sing this song almost every day, to go to the bathroom before we leave the house.
Oh, yeah.
Because what happens,
everybody knows this too,
is while we're driving, I have to go pee.
Don't you feel when Autumn says that, and because it's always when we're driving, of course, like Alden or something, and we're in the middle of
every time
nowhere.
We've driven to Alden, every time.
Anyone who doesn't know, I mean, we're from Alden, but it's a small town. There's not like a quick stop, so I feel that like anxiety rush of like you're white knuckling, like trying to think of how close are we to things.
Oh, well,
really stressed.
This is where it helps with boys because we peed on the side of the road multiple times. And in parking lots.
Can I tell you a funny story really quick? With Autumn,
I know this story.
We were Christmas tree shopping this year, and we go to Wilbur's in Rochester, and it's a farm. Like all Christmas trees have like giant farms, right? And this was so bad. And I asked her before we had to go, no, I don't have to go. No, I have to go. Big parenting no. And I didn't put a pull-up on her because I'm like, I don't want to go backwards. Well, we're in the middle of bum F nowhere tree farm. And, you know, all my kids look dressed to the nines because heaven forbid we look bad on Instagram when we're posting our annual Christmas tree shopping picture. No, not inappropriate. So all of that's great. But I didn't think of what happens when someone has to pee. And we're literally in the middle, like so far away, because we need a Douglas fir, because those are the softest pine needles, which is the furthest from the bathrooms. Adam goes, I have to pee. And Lee looks at me, and I look at him, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I know, I'll just make a potty with my hands that she can sit on. And I was like, I'm not kidding. Because I've never had a conversation of like the girl pee squat. That's so key to know. But if you think about it, you don't really need that till your college days of like concert going. You use that a lot.
Right.
But I wasn't thinking about like, how do I teach her? So I'm trying to have a conversation quick about squatting, and mommy's going to make a potty with her arms. You guys know where this is going. I was literally covered in pee. And it was nice for a minute because it was cold, so it kind of warmed me for a second. But then I just walking around with pee all over me. And she has pee, and I'm laughing. Lee's not having any of it because I just laugh all of the time. And he's a little bit more like, Amanda, this is ridiculous. She's wet, you're wet, this is bad. And I was unprepared for when you're not around a potty. What do you do with a little girl? So lesson learned, either have your kid have a pull-up, force them before you know you're going to be away to make sure they go to the bathroom. Or when you arrive, again, find a potty. When you have to go potty, stop and go right away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can we show the button?
Oh, it also makes a flushing sound.
Gosh, that's so fun. Autumn would have loved that. Okay, here are some ones that we had. Someone bought this or gave it to us. Maybe bought. Even princesses go to the potty. And this is by, gotta give an author name drop, by Wendy Wax and Naomi Wax. I wonder if they're unmarried sisters or a sister and a sister-in-law. Anyways, this is really cute. These are girl more books, but it's great because it goes through different people, and they're all women girl roles, but you know, toy doctors to librarians to, who is this? Who are you? A baker. And guess what? They all go to the bathroom, and they all have really fun underwear on, and all of their bathrooms are kind of perfectly decked out to what the little person going to the bathroom is, the little ballet girl. When we got to this page the other day, Autumn goes, "But Mommy, all of the people are waiting for the show." It's like, well, the ballerina is being responsible and going to the bathroom first before the show, Autumn. So this is a really cute book because it's interactive and kind of shows that it's a normal thing. Everybody does this. Another one we had, what is this? A Potty for Me. There's a line in here that really makes me laugh. So this goes through first getting introduced to a toilet and wondering if it's for you or not. I'm shocked that this shows it the right way and it's not backwards. Is this blowing your mind?
I thought that was...
Is this blowing your mind? Why isn't it showing it backwards on this?
I don't know.
Because it's a selfie viewed. Curiouser and curiouser. I'm kind of blown. I don't know, there is a line in here. Oh, here it is. Because can we all laugh at potty books of being really inappropriate? Now it's time to take my bath. Ooh, the water feels so wet. But anyways, it goes through like not being into the potty, and eventually you're proud of yourself because you decide to go. And then the last one, Autumn loves this. This was a recommendation from our preschool teacher, and it's been a huge hit. Big girls use the potty, and it actually inspired me to start buying Autumn undershirts. I don't know if anybody buys underclothes for their kids, but I thought I want Autumn to have cute little undershirts in her clothes, and now she does. Anyway, it shows a real person, so I think that's kind of neat, and talks about going shopping for undies and different potties people can sit on. And eventually, these come with sticker charts. This was a hand-me-down, so we didn't get the sticker chart. But this is a really good recollection, what you do after the potty and how you're a big girl at the end, and it's like a big celebration. So potty books are great introductory tools too before you start on the potty training bandwagon, to just start having that language. That kind of really helped me too. We're going to open it up. I think this shows 6 viewers watching. So does anyone have any toilet training questions or any last tips that you might want to share for us or for anybody who could be watching? Because hopefully this could be really beneficial to people who are potty training right now.
I do have to add to the
oh my
sticker
gosh,
charts.
I should have been scrolling.
Oh my gosh, you were scrolling.
Claudia, Daniel Tiger's the best. Flush and wash and be on your way. Woohoo!
Yeah!
Love Daniel Tiger. I'm so sorry. It's called 3D Potty Training by Laura Jensen. Okay, so anyone who's wondering, who is this Kelly and what is this potty miracleness that she's speaking of? Well, it's called 3D Potty Training by Laura Jensen, and it's the 3rd edition. So she had 2 kids that had huge success with this. So anybody looking for a really good read, hop on that, because for me, I don't go by reviews, go by like people you know that have applied it and done it. That's what you want to borrow, tried and true. Melissa says, my poor husband has my oldest out shopping and she had to go. He had no idea what to do and didn't want to take her in the men's room.
That's
another
tough.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had that because I guess I always do all the girl stuff.
Win.
Yeah, I don't think Lee's ever had to take any of the girls, they have to go to the men's room to go to the bathroom.
I think they would have to go to the men's room because
your
husband can go.
No.
That'd be really awkward.
Unless they have like those family
the
bathrooms.
family ones. I love places with family bathrooms.
It's giant and huge, and you can take the cart in with you.
Yeah,
and
that's amazing.
I had a moment. This was so rough, and again, potty training. This was my mistake number 1 too. I was trying to buy a wedding outfit, and we were strapped on time. So I took both girls. Do you remember this? I took both girls out to Target, which who buys anything from Target? Which is why I left with a jumpsuit. Although I kind of rocked it.
Stuff from, this tank top's from Target.
I know, but for a wedding.
Okay, maybe I wouldn't.
You would not go for a wedding. But I was too worried about the trip and the traveling with the girls that I wasn't thinking about myself, which all moms can relate. And we're in the dressing room, and I have Morgan with me in Autumn, and I'm literally naked because again, some of these are jumpsuits and stuff. And Autumn goes, "Mom, you really have to pee." And when they're in that learning phase, the holding mechanism
that doesn't work.
Isn't great. And so I knew I had maybe 5 minutes, and trying to fling clothes on to go to the bathroom. And you just have to leave your stuff. And or when you're shopping, it's so stressful in the midst of when you're shopping. Yeah. So know that when you start this journey, when it happens, that you really need, it's a pain in the butt no matter what to leave the house, but it's just another level.
I really think it's such a big commitment. When probably the reason we've tried all of those methods and that they failed is because you just can't continue.
You have to be all in.
Oh, well, I have to go here today. I have to go here. And,
life gets in the way.
Yeah. We go to work, so then I'm depending on my mother and mother-in-law to potty train our kid, and it's not being done the same way. And
it's not consistent, so that's
it's not consistent. And then they're in a different house, and probably why it was a little rough there, but...
Yeah, so know when you embark on this, really look for signs your kid's ready. That's, they're talking about it and interested. They are capable of holding, their, pee for quite a bit of time.
That's what I can imagine, a child being so young.
That's why they weren't potty trained. Oh my gosh, when I would have people, I would even have some friends that would say, oh, they're potty trained, but you're telling your kid every 20 minutes to, no, they're not. To me, potty training is... Hey, Mom, I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom.
Yeah, it's a full independent thing. They flush their potty and wash their hands.
Yeah.
And be on their way.
And for Autumn, too, so we use this, and eventually she likes going first. It's weird. It's great, but it's all on her own accord. We have a little step stool, and she pees in this, but she prefers poo-poos to do a number 2 on the big toilet. I don't know why, but she likes that. And I definitely still have to wait because kids, I don't know even when do you stop wiping your kid?
I don't know. I wouldn't trust them for a really long time.
A really long time. Because Autumn came home the other day from preschool, and it looked like 40-year-old NASCAR fan's underpants. And when she first told me, I pooped at school, and I went, in your pants? She's like, no, it's school. And I was like, this isn't going to be good. And there was definitely a surprise inside. Little skid marks.
Oh, I do have a cautionary tale.
Okay.
This is when you know that your child is not ready.
Okay.
So with all these methods, like I said, they want you to have them with no pants, no pull-ups, no nothing. So Owen got really fond of being naked, and he got the idea that, I can pull my pull-ups down. So what ended up happening...
He went through a big naked phase.
Was a big naked phase. A big naked phase. He would go to bed, and I would come into his room, and he would be naked, so that, and there would be pee. There was one time.
So bad.
This is how young.
Where would he pee?
Just randomly, and either in his bed or on the floor. But he got obsessed.
Would he hide it?
No, he would just go, and then he'd go to bed.
It's such like a drunk boy thing to do.
Well, this is going way back too, that after when he would poop in his diaper, he'd be like, yuck, yuck, and he didn't want it. So we're like, yeah, that's great. So he goes and he's in his room, and all of a sudden I hear him, yuck, yuck. So I walk in the room, and he's pointing behind his recliner, and he's naked. He's saying, yuck, yuck. And like cue horror film music, because you just don't know what's behind
and you're
there.
like waiting to unveil the...
So sure enough, I walk back there, and there's a big pile of poop right on the floor. So I don't know if you remember, but we also had to start putting his zip-up pajamas on backwards.
Yes.
Because
I think I talked to you about that. Yeah.
He would take them off.
Yeah.
And just, big naked phase.
Big
Clearly
naked
wasn't
phase. So that's another thing
wasn't
too.
ready.
If you do the no pants, no clothes method, just know you're probably creating a small, what do they call them?
Nudist?
Yeah, like you're starting a nudist colony. It's fine. But at the end of the day, look at what your kid is telling you. If they're ready, grab some good potty books that they're interested in. If they have a potty one related to a character they're into, great. Make it some type of incentive chart that they're into, because that seemed to work for both of us. She found the sticker thing. I found working toward the Hatchimal thing. And know that it's not a perfect journey, because we know parenting isn't perfect. So there's going to be bumps in the road. We still have bumps in the road. And we're all in this together, girls. So cheers. Thanks for joining MomSimply.
Cheers.
Thanks for being my first guest. I appreciate it. And hey, if any of you would love to experience this amazing moment of getting to hang with me and talk about something momish.
Oh, I didn't know where you were going with that.
Calm down. Calm down. Different show. Please message me. That would be great. I would love to, host you, because all of you have something to bring to the table. All of you have knowledge to bestow upon us. And because we're all learning, and we at least all have something, we at least have a lesson that we've learned that we could share. So thanks, guys, and have a great weekend. Bye.
Oh, I can't.
I know. I know. You have to wave with the opposite hand. Bye.